Happy lunch. Great to see all of you here. So I'm going to do some explaining today, and hopefully this will really help because I think this will dial down really what I'm trying to do and what's going on. I was thinking about it a lot last night, and this will be beneficial for you. So when there's a couple things that I look at when I look at people. So one is I look at their muscle tightness and their muscle length. And two is I look at their fascial pattern. So if my fascial pattern, so here, right here, my fascial pattern is pulling me this way. So essentially, if this is my pelvis, the right of my pelvis is getting pushed this way and dipping down into my left side. Okay, and then my left side is coming up and back. So this is my pattern. So what happens is the fascial pattern of the body goes first and then the muscles. So as this pulls, it actually pushes into the pubic bone here, and it actually, this pubic bone is now closer to the groin than this one. So this one creates length here, and this one creates a tightening, a shortening. Okay, so what happens, I have a tight, like a length on this side because my groin, I'm pulling away, so hopefully you get that. So on my right, it's further away from the pubic bone to connect my groin than on the left, and I'm leaning into it. So I have a shortness in my left groin, but I have a lengthening in my right. So here's the thing. What happens if I didn't fix this pattern? Okay, so what happens if I just took this pattern and I said, you know what, forget it, let's go. Let's start running. Let's go into exercise. Let's go everything. Well, I'm going to have more pelvic floor pain. I'm going to have groin pain. And for me, what's going on is my knee, right? Because then what happens is as this happens, it lengthens the groin, and I don't have the groin here for stability on the inside of the knee to pull me back into place. So can I work on the joint, right, and help that mobility? Yes, you can, for sure. And you can even see professionals that'll work on the joint and help, but it'll take time. But can I work on the pattern and change the joint and change the muscles? Yes, 100%. And that's what I'm doing here. So hopefully you see that. So there's a pattern to the body that you do where the fascial go, which pulls on the joint and lengthens the muscle. So people come to me and they're like, Julia, I have knee pain. I'm like, well, of course you do. You can do all the knee exercises you want, but really what's causing the inside of your knee pain is that your pelvis is pushed this way and your groin's lengthened here and shortened here. And really it's this fundamental movement from the core that we have to fix the problem. So it's kind of a different perspective. This is what I'm seeing. So I'm not looking at it from, just a muscle standpoint, but from like a fixing yourself standpoint. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to roll into this groin. I'm sure I'm going to find a knot somewhere here. So I'm going to take one of the balls and I'm going to get into here. And then I'm going to roll. I'm not going to say, I will roll this side of it to find it. I know I'm going to find a little bit more on the outside here. Well, actually on the inside back. But then I'm going to do an exercise to strengthen my groin and pull them upwards to get that lift back towards the pubic bone, back towards the core. So that's what I'm doing. And that's why when I do my exercises, I have to check my body that everything's in line and kind of everything flows and moves. Because if so, I can just move, but not actually fix the pattern, still hurt the same pattern. And that's what's key with this. Perfect. So this is what I'm going to do first. So I know that'll be helpful for everyone. Maybe eventually I'll make a YouTube video on it. So This one I'm just kind of tackling. I do like the foam roller for this. So as I thought, right? Do I feel it here? Not really, because it's already long, but I will feel the fascia bunch up at a certain point, and that will be more towards the back. So to get the back of the groin, I have to actually like sit, turn it in. Right, exactly. So right here. So that's kind of what I thought. Because this is long here, but there is a shortening there. And the reason I jump around, but I touch, it's because in my videos in this sequence, I'm doing something every single day. If I didn't do something every day, then you kind of, so for example, if you were new at the gym and we wanted to start a program for you, we would give you a program 3 times a week. Okay? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full body, just to get your awareness. Right? You get a little bit better, we can give you a 4-day program, upper, lower, break, upper, lower. Okay? And then as you keep going, 5 days, you can start breaking it up by muscle group. So like a 5 or 6 day split, you can do a push, a pull, a legs, a core, right? Something functional. And you just split it up. Like 6 days would be upper body, lower body, legs, rest, upper body, lower body, legs. So you see what I mean? And then the more you go, you could actually go biceps, triceps, back, shoulders, chest, core, legs. So because I'm trying to do full body movements, I really have to go where I feel with this. And I'm going to be jumping around a bit, but it's because too, sometimes as I change the pattern, something new happens the day before. And so this is the one I really got to get into. And eventually with this ball, I'm actually going to have to go in between my ischial tuberosity. So that's your butt bone that you sit on. And I want to create space in between them. So I'm going to have a seat closer to this groin over here and try to dig in gently and sit on it. But I'm not going to do that one today. So with this, it's not the easiest to get, but I will get it. So I'm going to actually take the ball, put the groin here, and dig it. So actually, it's good because this is actually, when I looked at it, it's what I thought, and then it's great because I'm using the ball and I'm confirming what I found. So because I'm trying to get deep in the groin, it's very hard. So I have a ball right now on a foam roller. So I have the tune-up ball, which actually I'll post the link if you guys want to purchase them, you can, on the roller. And so this is going to need some work, right? I'm going to have to really ease into this and settle into this as I come along. And so, the pelvic pain. So I don't actually have pelvic pain. I did at the very, very, very beginning, but the second I started doing the core sequences, I was okay. So with this, it's actually so tender to go on the roll. I'm actually gonna have to go away a little bit and then come towards, right? So think of it like when someone gives you a massage and it's too hard, you tense up. You don't want to do that. You want to go slow towards it. If it's too much, fall back and then come back to it until you can relax into it. So now that I rolled out the groin where I felt it, where it needed, I'm going to do an actual plank, like a groin pain plank, so I can actually grab the inside again and not be collapsed. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with my body, like my heel lined up to my head, and I'm going to initiate, so this is key. So as I lift my ribs, get aligned, I'm going to initiate the motion with my foot to activate the groin to push me up. I'm not going to push my leg first. It's going to be groin. I'll show you. Head. There we go. groin first, and then this. As you get better and better, right? Like there's some people that bring this plank all the way up, straight, and that really hurts. And so as I start turning a little bit towards, like I want my foot flat, I don't want to be on my heel. So as I turn here, get more of the inside, and you can see I'm gonna start shaking just because this is weak. Good, I'll go for a little bit more. Excellent. Yeah, and then I'll do the other side. If you're a beginner and you can't feel your groin muscles, so like the groin is weak, or if it's too tight and you're collapsed, you won't be able to feel the length. Then I would just start with the basic lying on the ground, either leg beneath, or leg in front, and the ups. But make sure you push away, get that length, and then, right, do your adduction exercises. So get the line going first before you get in. Because if you're not going to initiate from the groin, what's going to happen is you're just going to collapse in the hip. And if I'm collapsed in the hip and I come up, where do I feel it? I have a pain. I don't want to say in my, it's funny because when I say groin, I actually mean like inside leg, like groin muscle from the inside of my leg to my pubic bone. But people call this the groin. So I'll say hip, you feel it on the inside of your hip. So if I'm not initiating from my foot, I'm gonna get pain here. If I can set myself up, initiate from my foot, now it's an exercise. So that's the difference here. Actually, so I'll do this a little bit longer so you can see what I'm doing. I'm really trying to expand. I don't really want to collapse at all. I want to get my length. There we go. So see how I was here? No, get my length. Lift myself up. Nice and tall. My head's like a rocket going to space. 2, 1. Hate that. I do that. So if you're just tuning in now, I would watch the beginning of this one because this one was really informative. And thank you guys so much for joining. I will see you tomorrow.